All right, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining this another session. So, as you see on the screen, is mostly about managing the content on ProBench. So, when we say managing content, is about uh, the various text that you see on ProBench on various pages of ProBench, and then there's a view logs where you would be able to see the activities that are done by other administrators or the responses that are added by the companies or the company users, etc. So some overview on the logs as well. So these are the two main content for today's session. But before starting uh, on this session, would like to have a kind of a Q&A session in case there are any questions from any one of you on the previous sessions that we had in place. So if there are any questions, I'll first like to kind of address them because we had three sessions. So before moving forward, I think it's right time to have one more Q&A session. So if any of you guys want to ask any questions, feel free to do that now. And I guess the number of participants are less, so there are less. All right, no problem. So we'll quickly move to the next session. Maybe at the end, we'll again come back to the Q&A. This is about managing content. Like when I say managing content, it's about uh, the content that you see here on the right hand side, and the content you see on the home page of the site. Uh, the various text that you see, the homepage content here on the right hand side. If you want some notes here, or uh, the notes you want to see within the survey pages, so all those are kind of content. The text of this open and submitted is also configurable. So there are lots of configurable things around ProBench which could help you to kind of white label it according to your needs, how you want to show what. So that can be completely configurable. So I'll take you through each of those aspects here. So let's start with, like, firstly how to manage all those content. So kind of like we named it as manage content is because it comes from like content management system. So that's the CMS systems that we normally have, where each of the content that is there on your website is kind of modifiable through the admin panel. So similarly, even ProBench helps you to do that to some extent. It's not completely customizable, but some parts are definitely customizable. So wanted to take you all through that particular section. So when we come to like this home page, like whenever you log in as administrator, you are on the manage participant page. But then when you go to setup and click on manage content, this is where you would be able to manage all your content. So there are like lots of different articles. So this manage content is also used to configure your emails that is sent from ProBench, the submission emails, the registration emails, the invitation emails. All the emails are also managed from here. You can also kind of manage the help documents in a way, like, or help articles that you would like the companies to see when they get into the survey, or get the help of to get the whole process, how the survey has to be filled, and all those things can be included as part of the content management as well. So as you see on the screen, so this is a bit of a modified screen from what you already see currently. So this is going to be released in the coming week. But this is just a glimpse because I was because of this session, I just thought to have a go on the new screen itself. So that's the reason this is part of it. So this is like for the filter, like content different content types that we have here. So here you will see the email content type. So it would show you all the emails that are currently configurable in ProBench. We'll make sure the content types are updated in the upcoming release on all your sites, so that it's easily browsable, and you will come to know like which content has to be changed at what place. Okay, so like for example, there is like uh, confirmation email. So it happens after the registration is confirmed, you send this email. So similarly, like this is the activation email or awaiting approval email. So once the registration is done, if your process has something like they have to be activated by the administrators before they can get into the system, then to send the email of activation to the administrators, then in that case this is the email that can be used. So multiple such email contents can be accessed, and like this is a submission email. So whenever the user submits, an email is sent to the user as well as the administrator. So this email exactly does that. So all those parts are taken into consideration. So the complete management of email can be done. There is one called as home intro. So this home intro is something that you will see on the home page of the site. So this is what is the home intro. So you can have a big content here, the home intro. So when I click on edit to this home intro, you would be able to have like this multiple areas which can help you to set the details. I'll come through each of the fields in a bit, but this is what the home so this is basically the content types, various content types. You can add your own content types, there's no problem, like based on your understanding and needs. So it's kind of like here you see survey invitation. So these are the emails that are used for the invitation purposes for the clients. So this is another content type that we have created. So it's like complete customer. Now when we like on this particular screen, I'll tell you few of the things. So this as this particular column mentions is heading or email subject. So like this is like if you are showing like on the home page, so then there won't be email subject, but this would be the heading of that particular article, and that heading, and then there would be a body, right? So what this first page shows you is like the heading. So based on the heading you can search uh, whatever content that you want to search using the heading part of it. So it would help you to search if you are not aware what content type it is of. Then based on the content of that particular message or an article on ProBench, you can like use this search. So for example, if I go to registration and click on like search for registration, I'll get that. So like right, so if I like click here, so all the registration related things are being displayed here. Okay, so this search can be there. The unique reference is something like for internal purpose, to be frank, like we access all this content and display all this content based on the unique references. So nothing much to do from your end. You can keep those field untouched, and if you are creating a new content, it's not necessary to have uh, that in place. Don't worry about that. The unique referencing content type, I have already kind of introduced that. And then there is a visible to users. So when we say visible to you users, it's about whether that particular content would be displayed somewhere on the survey page or on the home page or the registration page, something like that. So if it is not visible to users, it won't be displayed. So this would be handy in case like you are drafting something and you still don't want the users to see it. Then you can hide that, or the visible to users can be switched off. and only when you want to show that content you can again show it. So you can play around with the display or visibility of that particular content. Okay, so that is all about it. Using this you can like create a new content, and using this you can edit the new contents. So create and edit are almost on the same line, so I'll just directly go to edit, because in that case you will be able to visualize what the things are actually. Okay, so like this is what the edit screen is. So as I mentioned, heading is what you will see as an heading wherever this particular content is displayed. It depends, like some of the articles don't show heading, like in case of like this thank you page. So this is like the registration thank you article. So when the registration is completed, there is a thank you message that is displayed to the users. Okay, so in that case, we don't show the heading normally, because the heading is the registration by default, so we don't show it. So that's the reason we basically don't have. So this is what the content would be displayed to the users when they actually complete their registration. So as the thing says, this is the heading, this is the body. So basically the complete content of what details you want to show there. Then there is visible to survey users. So where if you click this, then it would be visible to users. If you don't click, it won't be visible to users. But this particular thing is mostly to do with the side notes that are displayed. So normally, like for the registration articles and all those things, like the thank you articles or thank you content, we don't worry about means hiding and showing or enabling the visibility. The only reason is because at the means register means before configuring the registration, it is always like a step-by-step process. So whenever that process is actually gone through, we actually test it properly before the clients go into it. So there is nothing to like, there is no draft version or something needed in case of registration. So in normal message kind of contents. Okay, then there is group, like as I said in the previous sessions, group is exactly what regions are. So these are like groupings which can be used to make this particular article visible or not visible to some companies, and visible to some companies based on the group those companies are into. Okay, or the regions those companies are into. So these groups are used for that. Then there is a type. So this is the content type basically. So currently the content type is registration here. So you can have other types as well. You can multi-select it. There's no problem. So depends on how you would like to filter them, and then you can click on update. Okay, so this would basically help you to manage like, and this particular means completely manage the system. And this particular box here is, as you see, it's completely like uh, what you say, rich text box it is. So you can have any kind of formatting here, like using the bold, italic, etc. So all the tools that you would like to use for formatting, and how you want to make it visible to the users on the front end is completely displayed here. Okay, so that's how you manage the this is what is the content management actually. So now I'll go one step ahead to kind of demonstrate some of the parts in the content. So let me like add one more content here. So let's say I want to add a new content which says like uh, instructions for completing the survey, and then like in the body I'll give some just for the testing purposes. And then like I'm currently assigning it to one of the groups, that is region, and making it visible to the survey users. And the content type I'm giving here is notes. So I'll click on save. So this notes is a new content type that is added automatically. And this is added here. Now, where it would be displayed on the page is like here. Uh, just a moment. Yeah, because this is not, sorry, because I have not given a group. All right, so I'll means whenever I change the content or add new content, I'll have to rebuild page so that so this is the new content that is added directly on the right hand side of the thing. So you can manage the kind of visibility. I'm sorry, I'll just close that off. So like if that company is like not in 73-bit, so you want to show this content to the group which is global benchmark and click on update. Then like when I go as a 73-bit company, let me see what is the 73-bit participant has. So 73-bit test company, which group it belongs to? It belongs to all these three groups. I'll just remove this global benchmark for the time being. Okay. And then again, like come here and rebuild. So that particular content went away. Okay, so this content that I've just created would only be visible to the global benchmark companies, or the companies that belong to, or the participants that belong to that particular group. Okay, so now I'll again go to 73-bit thing and again kind of rebuild, so it again got visible. Okay, now say I don't, I'm just drafting it, I don't want to yet show that to the users. I'll just deselect this visible to survey users and click on update. Okay, so and now I'll go to rebuild page. So that particular thing is not visible, or that particular content is not visible. Okay, so any number of such contents can be created here, and those contents would automatically be displayed on the right hand side depending on the whether you make it visible or not visible. Okay, so and for this content to be displayed on the right hand side, the very important thing that needs to be done is firstly select the visibility and select the group. Okay, if you want any content to be not displayed on the right hand side, uh, like the email content that we just saw, or some error message content that we have created, then one of the things that you should do is you just deselect any of the groups. So this group should not have anything, and click on update. Then that particular article or the content would not be displayed on the home page on the right hand side. So that's the simplest thing that you should do. So this group is very important here when it comes to showing the content on the home page. Okay, now there is a home page content as well. I'll just go to home page intro. So there's always a home intro there, and here I click on like add some text as I did earlier. All right, and click on update. So this homepage content would be visible here automatically. So whatever you want to have it on homepage, this home intro is the place where you need to show it. Now there is one thing that we are still working on. It is work in progress. Is like the currently this homepage content is not kind of driven by group. So if you want to kind of show some homepage content, means a different homepage content between the groups, like global benchmark participants should see different homepage content, or self-assessment participants should see a different homepage content, then that is still not in place. We are working on it in the background. So once it is done, I'll definitely update the release notes for the same. After that, like we envisioning it like a couple I think uh, few clients actually need this, so it would happen. So it's work in progress, and it would be done in the near future. Okay, so this is what is about the content on home pages and the side content, etc. Any questions so far? All right. Sure, no problem. So I'll move ahead now. As we have already seen about the homepage content, the next thing that we'll need to explore or understand is how I can show such notes on the survey pages, because whatever that I do on the manage content or this particular screen would not impact the survey pages. Okay, because that's only for the home page or registration pages or sign in pages, but nothing to do with the survey pages, because every survey, because all of our clients do multiple assessments, so each of the assessments or surveys have different notes to be displayed. So it is not handled from manage content, but it can be handled from the template that we have created, the survey templates that we create. So I'll just demonstrate that to you, like how we can use the template. So let me take you through there. Yeah, okay. So this is the template that we have in place. Uh, Now you see this notes here, I have created at a survey level. If you see, this is at the survey level, right? The very first child of the main code. So if you this is the thing that you need to use, the inline text. Okay. So when I add it, it adds at the bottom. And if you want to show this content on the right hand side, like this one, okay, then what you need to do is you need to select the type as notes. Okay, and whatever information that I add here, okay, even the headings. Okay, uh, so this information would be displayed on the survey page out here. So I'll just rebuild the page. Sorry, I need to, as I have added this new field here, I'll need to save changes.
In terms of the
Hello. Yeah, you see this new article added here. Okay, so this was about the managed content. So any notes that you add at the top level, okay, on the at the very as a very first child of the template would be displayed on the overview page. Okay, it would not display on the side overview, not on the side overview, but inside the page it would not display. This is the content that is created separately at a different place. I'll come to that. But this new content that I have added at the uh, or at the first child level would only be displayed on the overview page. Okay, so so even the placement of that nodes uh, kind of you'll have to take care that it is at the place where you want to display it. Okay, so that's what is the note on the overview page. Now on the next screen, if I want to show an article or notes for this particular page, that is this first page here, or a first page type question like I showed here, this one. Okay, then I have to add that notes at the page level. Okay, so if you see here, see the boundaries, I have added this note here. Okay, so this means this particular content is currently being displayed here. Okay, so there can be any number of nodes. There is no restriction to the number of nodes that you can add here. So if you had 3 4 notes per page, like for every page there is a different note, then you can add that note here and that note would be automatically displayed here. If you don't want to display that note, then you just delete it from the template here, and it would basically get removed from the right hand side here. Okay, So that's how you manage the content on the at the page level. Okay. And this can even be possible to show it here like this. Okay. Obviously there is different uh, kind of, what I may say, like configuration, using which either you can show it here or you can here, but for the demonstration purposes I have displayed it on both the sides, but the same notes that we have added can be displayed on at this point as well. Okay. That's how you can display uh, the the notes on the survey page. Any questions here? All right. So I've covered the first 3 points, like managing email content and this. One more point I would like to mention about the email content. I'm sorry to jump here, but I realize I didn't cover one of the things. So just to be very sure that you understand about the email contents. So each of the email contents are basically in this manner. So the headings can are normally the email subjects. So whatever you set as an heading would be sent as a subject of that email from Probench. So Probench uses that particular field or heading field as an email subject, as mentioned here, and the body is the actual body of the email. Okay. So in the body, I think you already see that there are few of these placeholders here. Okay. So each of these placeholders are mainly uh, meant to replace it with the actual content, because whenever you send an invitation or an submission email is sent, you have to customize that particular email based on for which company that email is going, either the invitation or the submission email or whatever other email that you send across. It should be kind of personalized to that particular company, so that that company gets the information that is meant for themselves or that particular company, and not as a general content. Like in case of username and password, the credentials can't be same for all the companies. So in those cases, we have to customize the emails. So we put it as a placeholders, so kind of a mail merge functionality, where these placeholders are then replaced by the system to kind of replace that content with the original content for that particular company. Okay. Now your question would be like, how would you know where these placeholders would come from and which placeholders to be used for which email content? Okay. So to help you with that, for now, we have this help documents that we are creating at this point within our documentation. So each of these emails have these placeholders that you can use, and each of the placeholders there is a description provided. So based on this description, you can like copy this from here and put your uh, whatever out here in this manner. Okay. So the system would automatically kind of replace that particular placeholder with the content that is relevant to that particular company. Okay. So this help document is in a preparatory mode, but would be completely ready by next week. So you can go and visit each of I'll also attach the link in the description of the recordings, so you can visit these pages and see how you can use that and what each of those placeholders may mean for you. Okay. So this is very important when it comes to email content, because it has to be very customized for different purposes. Okay. So this is what the email content is about. Any questions with the email content? All right. uh, Next is about managing notes on individual survey pages. I have already covered that. Now, the last one is managing field labels and messages. Okay, so this is like very like when I say field labels, I would let me show you like what kind of field labels we are talking about. So I'll go to the setup, then in the configuration. So here, if I go to group view, you will see a group called as search for group and called as field label. So this is the field label group. Okay, so when we click on field label, this is all the labels that you can customize for yourself directly from the system. Okay, so for example, like when it comes to the change password screen, there are multiple fields or labels that you can change or configure. Even the registration pages, the labels on the registration pages. So when I say labels, let me kind of uh, uh, show you what I mean by labels. So these labels that we are talking about can be customized from this particular part. Okay, so these are all field labels. What heading that you want to show for the registration page or confirm registration page. Uh, what are the different fields? So similarly, I'm sorry, I logged out. So these field labels are come like let me again go. So all these field labels are basically doable from here. So there are like 78 such field labels, and this includes a lot other things as well, like delete button text and feedback and download entire. So this download entire submission is like on the survey page. You see this particular thing, right? So even the text here is basically customizable from here. So all those things are completely customizable. So there are many of them. You can just go and explore. And whenever you change it, you just have to make sure that you go to that particular page and or on that particular area where you have changed and click on rebuild page. So that would basically clear the cache and get the new information from the updated configuration. So this is how you can like change the field labels. So similarly, the error messages are also like customizable. Okay, so when I click on messages, search for group, sorry. Yeah. So the file size message, whenever you upload the evidence, you see that if it is more than 5 MB, it gives you an error message. So even that error message is configurable. So there are many error messages like forgotten password success message. So you can also like customize that particular area. Like when a forgot password email is sent, what message that you want to show here. So there are lots and lots of like even there are 26 records here. So all these small messages, field labels are configurable within ProBench, and you can like completely kind of change it based on how you want your company users to see that particular page or infer that particular message or field labels. Yeah, so this is what was mostly about the content management part of it. So this is the various ways you can manage various content here. Any questions as a whole about the content management? Anyone? All right. No problem. Next part I would go is with the logs. So that is like another important part that many of you normally want it but don't know how to do it. So I would just go through some of the areas where we log information and how you can kind of see all the log information within ProBench. Okay, so we have this specific uh, menu option here which is called as logs, and we have like four types of different logs here. One is the activity logs. So what is activity logs is what I'll just show you. So this is log. When it says activity logs, is mostly tracking how the managers are working and which manager made which changes into the system. So it's basically the activities that are done by the administrators or managers within the system is being kind of tracked here, so that if there is any changes that is kind of unexpected, we would kind of come to know like which manager made that change, or which user made that change, so that we can ask that particular user the reason behind those changes, and we can audit basically the logs there. So like you see like manage content here. So when it comes to manage content, all the new things that I have added here, you will see that it is added by me, and these are all the contents that were updated by me in the meantime. So you will also see and what date this was managed or it was changed. So all of them are today's date. So this is it will show with screen, so obviously you will able to see it. And when I get into this particular thing, it would drill down further, and it would tell me like what was the content before and what was the content after the changes. So it completely kind of I can also like click here and compare to know like here the region was different and I added the region here. So that was, or when I say region, it's like the group that I made the changes, like from 73-bit to global benchmark. So all those changes are being tracked here. So similarly, you can compare these two. So it would kind of compare these two, like it was like is live and it's not live. So both of all those things are being compared here. You can also filter by username, like which user has made changes at what time. So I can do show logs. There was no changes. I will go to Gautam. So what are the changes made by Gautam? So this is a complete picture of what all changes are done by which user. So here I can select another screen, say, uh, let me say participant fields screen. So I'll get an history like which user has made changes where, because this is a demo site, is mostly you will see my name here, but you can experiment it at your end for your particular uh, system. You'll be able to see the complete logs of all the screens here. Some of the screens are still work in progress, but we are adding it every day. So you would be seeing most of the important screens have the logs here. So it's absolutely usable. So this is what and that comparison thing is there for all the things. So you'll see the add action, you'll see multiple such actions. So all the actions are being displayed here. So if you have impersonated, if you have updated, you've seen the pure progress, so all those actions are being displayed here. So complete log of the managers or the manager side of ProBench is being displayed here using the activity log. Now next is the response log. So this is another very important area. So when so here the first thing that you need to see is like you want to see response logs of which survey. Okay, because there may be multiple surveys, we cannot show the details of all the survey at one go, because it would not make much sense there. So when you click on one of the surveys, the next thing it would ask you is about what participants you want to see, that when it was changed and which user changed that thing. Then you have to select the participant and then click on show logs. Okay, so when it comes to show logs, it would show for this company, for this particular node ID, these are the answers that was added by the users. uh, So this was like part of some of my demonstrations last week. So it's showing all those updates that I had made. So similarly, you can go and see any number of such things. So you'll come to know which user actually deleted what responses and things. If you know the node ID, so when I say node ID, just to reiterate, when I want to go and see, suppose say who made, let me go to the first screen, 003. Then assessment. So I want to know who made changes to this particular node ID or for this particular question. Then I can go here, click on search. Then I'll come to know like Gautam made these two changes on this particular date and time. This was selected, and on this particular date and time this was selected. So complete history would be available. It's not that only the last update would be there. It would show you the complete history for that particular node ID, to for you to know like who were the users who changed it. And just to like clarify here, it does not only show the details of the changes that are done by the administrators or managers. This particular log also shows the changes that are done by the end users or the company users. So it's like a complete response logs that you can see. And if you want to edit, like if there is a conflict between the analyst and the companies, like they are not sure who made the changes, then this is the place where you can go and see what logs needs to be means what were the changes and who made those changes on what date. Okay, so it's like completely helpful. Even like you can do it by from date and to date. So if you want to only see like in last couple of days who made the changes, then I can select the from and to date, and I can select like only, means I'll get the history of only those two dates. If there are any changes made on those two dates, I'll be able to see it. If it is not made, then there will be no list of changes that are done. Okay, so that's how the response logs are to be used. So any questions here, anyone, when it comes to response logs or the activity logs? All right, sure. Thank you. So I'll go to the next type of logs, and that is like email logs. So these are mostly used when you want to know if a certain email was actually sent through Probench, like whether it was processed by Probench. The emails, like sometimes it happens like you have sent an invitation, but the users complain that we have not received any invitation. So you can search this particular email logs with the help of your the email address, and you can see like which particular log or which particular email was sent using which content. There are also like scenarios where users complain that I have clicked on forgot password, but I have not received forgot password. So in those cases as well, like you can like search for that particular email, and you will see whether the email was sent from Probench or not. If the emails are sent from Probench, then there are uh, uh, two reasons the emails have not reached them. Either uh, either the email address was incorrect, that's one thing, and secondly there is a reason that their internal firewall might be blocking some of the emails from some of uh, the email addresses like Probench maybe. So there are some companies who have very stringent processes, so they do not allow external emails to get in. So in those cases the email might not reach them at all, or might end up in their spams. So you might ask them that it is sent from here, but the email was sent or maybe is in their spam. Or the second way this can be used is you can copy this whole content from here and then again kind of send them a personal email. so that they can use that email to kind of see their passwords or whatever forgot password that they have done. And you can just copy it and send them across. So this is another way you can use the email logs. You can like also search by the email subject. So in that case as well, like if there are multiple, like let me try out one thing. Let me remove this. So I'll try out forgot password. Okay, it's not there. So maybe because this is like testing, so I'm not sure how I can try this one. So using this email subject. Okay, so all the new survey start emails, whatever was sent from ProBench is being shown here. So it's like completely like you can see all the emails with that subject line. So this is one way you can kind of use the email logs. Uh, so yeah. The next is the notification logs. So this is like mainly to do with the recently added notification functionality that I covered in my last session, where the emails whenever the companies provide their response, the analyst or assessors get the notification that an email or the company has provided their responses. Please go in and have a look. So as you know that that particular notification email is sent once every day. Okay, this log is basically the log of that job that is running in the background, and to know like if that particular process was successfully completed, like sending emails to the administrators or analysts that a particular company. So it is not a company wise thing, but it is like if the job was completed successfully on a particular day is something that you can check from here. So if you find this as incomplete or error at a particular stage, then you can like contact us to kind of mention that we have not received the notification emails and the logs are showing this error. Then what we can do is like we can kind of go in and investigate why there was some problem. So that's how the notification logs are being used. Yeah, so this is what the logs are when it comes to the notification functionality. So so yeah, this is about the logs. These are the four types of logs that we have so far. Uh, so yeah, any questions around logs or maybe content we can. So I think covered most of the areas for today's session. So any questions, please let me know. Maybe any questions regarding the previous sessions, like previous three sessions, any doubts you can you can ask here. You can cover that here. No doubts, anyone?
I have a question. Hello, Gautam.
Sure.
I'm sorry if you covered this, but my computer crashed for about half of this session, so I'm not too sure on what was and what was not covered. But in terms of translation for the homepage of the survey and within the surveys themselves, all the buttons, I would say, so click it, like the next button on previous page and that sort of stuff for the translations, how would we go about doing that?
Okay, so translations like uh, so the next and previous buttons don't have the translations in the first place. Even the homepage content, like when we say it is managed, the only thing is like what you can do with the homepage content is based on the groups that we have, which we are actually working like it would work based on the groups. Then in that case you can create a homepage content for each of the groups in different languages, and then whenever the company from that particular group, say the company from who wants to have France, and then the group company from the France group, when gets into the survey, they'll see the homepage content, like only the content in France. But when it comes to buttons and the other field labels and things, it's not configurable for each of the groups. Like
Okay.
it is like you can set it once. Like if you want the complete probench to be in German, then you can do it once. Like all the text can be changed to German by configuring each of those field labels. But other than that, like there cannot be two language options. Like some of the companies would see it in English, or some of the companies would see it in France. So it's not possible for each of the content field there. So
Okay, I
so
understand. Okay, thank
but
you.
however, like as you have asked that question, there's one thing that maybe like that users can use is the accessibility option that sorry, just a moment, the accessibility option that we have on the top here. Okay, so here you can select whatever language that you want to change that particular thing to, and when you click there, the Google translation would automatically come into place and change the content. So that is one thing from an accessibility point of view your users can use in case this is an absolute kind of deal breaker for them or something.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? No questions? All right. Any ideas that you want to throw across to kind of that we can still use to improve this content management further, or any logs that you would like to see which is not in the system? So those ideas would really help us to kind of get a roadmap for us going forward. Nothing? All right. Then I think in that case, we'll meet up in our next session, which is another critical session about how to get data out of ProBench, like in various ways, how you can export the data from ProBench. So we would cover like data sets, we would cover export responses. So all those things we would be covering in our next session, next Wednesday. So do register for it and try to attend, because another very important session there. All right. Thank you so much, guys. I hope this session was helpful to you guys. Any questions? I think whenever I upload this recording, you can put the comments or your questions within the YouTube itself, and I'll be happy to answer them or record another video for that. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you.
Have a great. Bye-bye.